We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. So today is May 15th, 2026. So I was off yesterday. I could have went into work, but Sammy ended up staying late. Plus, man, I was feeling a little under the weather. Not yesterday, but the day before. Not like physically sick or anything, just wore the fuck out. Just wore out, you know. I'd worked a bunch of days straight. Came in on a day off last week and yeah, was just like, yeah, I need a day off. Plus, man, I live in an older house, dude, and it was super fucking cold all day yesterday. Like, I was supposed to take a bath, shave, but it was like so fucking cold. I just literally laid under blankets and watched TV all day. But yeah, I work tonight. I go in. Sammy's gonna take me to work, and then I'm gonna catch an Uber home. Tomorrow, I had plans tomorrow. I'm gonna do another interview with Mirror D80s. It'll probably be kind of like a purple pill episode. I wanted to cover, there's two things going on in Australia right now. There's this mice plague thing. I think they're going to tie it in with hantavirus stuff over here. They got some like digital ID restrictions on video game stuff going on in Australia right now, which I'm going to talk to him about because I haven't looked into it. He lives over in Australia. So I forgot to cancel my Zoom this month, so I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm gonna see if I can do some more interviews with people. So I got Zoom for another month. So if you ever want to do an interview, hit me up in the emails below. So I got that planned for tomorrow night. I'm gonna edit, put it out. I'll probably have it out that night because it really doesn't take that long for me to edit a podcast. But yeah, that's about it. So look forward to that. Oh, we're going to do a little bit of video game talk too. So that's why it's going to be kind of a purple pill episode. But I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate to the channel, I will send you a bumper sticker and a bookmark. I will sign the bookmark. Unless you don't want me to, then just hit me up in the comments below of Buy Me a Coffee. So, let's get on with the show. So today's going to be kind of a little funner episode, as far as conspiracy stuff. Both of these things, they're a little bit older news, but I hadn't covered it yet, and it just seems a little crazy. There is a video for it, so I will play the video for you guys. So, robot dogs were created. This was a art exhibit. I'm not sure who it was because I only just caught like a little bit of it and I'm like, dude, I gotta report on this shit. So it's those little robot dogs that you guys have seen, which they use like for security purposes. Like there's apartment complexes in bad cities and bad neighborhoods like Detroit and shit like that. They're starting to use these as like security. So there's, once again, another human job that's taken by machine, by AI, by robot. Which is funny, because it's like, I used to talk about this shit, like in like 2010, 2011, 2012, how basically Terminator shit, how it's going to take over all the jobs. Hang on. Sorry about that fucking cat. So it blows my mind that, and I have to brag a little bit and pat myself on the back. Will I ever get my roses? Never. But why am I always right about this shit? Like, I swear I'm not a prophet, man. I'm not. But anyways, robot dogs with Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg's heads roam around Berlin Museum and Beeples' new exhibit. So I've heard of this Beeple guy in passing through Joe Rogan's podcast. He's a big fan of him. He's talked about it on his podcast. I don't know much of his other work. I'm sure if I had seen it, I'd go, oh, so that's who created it. But I've heard nothing but good about him. He seems to be kind of doing like edgy art exhibits, trying to make a point, you know, against the elites. I think he would be on our side, you know. I'm not sure though. But let me pull up this video. The video's creepy as... Yes, if you're listening on audio only, you'll have to tune in and look, because basically what we're seeing here is this little ring, almost kind of like a boxing ring, with all these robot dogs. They all got famous tech lords heads on them. Let's see if I could pull up audio.
Wake up and change these algorithms. Like, they have complete control.
Let's start it from the beginning, so that way we have the audio.
In the past, our view of the world was shaped in part by how artists saw the world. Now,
Was that
our view of the world is shaped by...
That looked like Andy Warhol.
Powerful algorithms that decide what we see and what we don't see, how much we see of it. That's an immense amount of power that I don't think we've kind of like... sort of.
So that's
fully
Beeple there. I'd never
understood,
seen him.
especially because when they want to make a change, they don't need to like lobby the UN. They don't need to like get a, you know, something through Congress or get something through the EU. They just like wake up and change these algorithms. Like, they have complete control over these things that affect how the world views current
That's
events.
that was the Blue Origin guy. I forget his name.
Like, sort of
He
like
owns Amazon. So yeah, highly disturbing artwork. I think it's neat though. I think it's getting its point across. I mean, personally I like edgy artwork and shit. There's a lot of these other channels who think that everything is satanic, and it's like, no, it's artwork. It's supposed to be edgy because it's trying to tell you something through it. It just blows my mind, like, how many of these other content creators think that everything is satanic, and it's like, I don't know. As someone who has done a bunch of art, you know, it's like, have you never taken, like, at least one art class in school? Like, you know. So it says this was done in Berlin, which Berlin, man, out of all the countries in the world, Germany is definitely like one of the most weirdest ones. I don't know, they're just freaks over there, dude. And I kind of figured that out at like a young age, like listening and watching Rammstein music videos and shit. They're just out there, dude. So Berlin, robot dogs with hyper-realistic silicone heads, modeled after world-renowned figures, including Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Andy Warhol. So I was right, it was Andy Warhol. And Pablo Picasso. I used to have an art book. Actually, I think I still do. I have the Picasso one. We were living somewhere with somebody, and they were getting rid of a bunch of free books, and I seen a Pablo Picasso one, and I was like, can I have this? He's like, yeah, go for it. He's like, I was just going to give them all away. I was like, I want this one, because I didn't have a Pablo Picasso one before, and it was It was a decent like coffee table one, like that thick, just all his different works. Andy Warhol, I've always been a fan of his. His films, I've heard about his films, like 8-hour films and shit, of just him filming people sleep and like gay pornography, and I'm like, nah, I'm probably good on the films. But his actual like paintings and shit and photography, I've always liked. I've always been a fan of. There's this one band, I think it was called Velvet Underground. It's kind of like hippie music. They're pretty good. They have this one song. I can't remember which movie it was, but they played it on a movie, and it was the first time I heard it. Might have been, I think it was Lords of Dogtown, as weird as it sounds. But it was like, the lyrics are something about, when I put a spike into my arm, when I'm ripping on my run, and I feel just like Jesus' son. They're dope. I like them. So, these robots can be seen roaming around a Berlin museum, occasionally pooing printed images of their surroundings, which they previously captured with integrated cameras. I think that's very symbolic right there. So they're literally using cameras to take pictures of the surroundings, the sightseers, and shitting printed pictures out of the sightseers, and you see this a lot around here. Like, I haven't reported on it yet, just because every day I literally come home with like 5 or 6 written down topics I want to talk about. I feel like it used to not be like this. When I first started podcasting and content creating a decade ago, I'd say I started podcasting probably like 7 years ago, but I was content creating in general like 10 or 11 years ago is when I first started. The news sources, well, as far as conspiracy shit, the influx of them coming in, there was times I was actually struggling to find conspiracies to talk about because the world was so much more calmer. Looking back on the conspiracies that we were dealing with back then, it was like, oh wow, like it was like far less dystopian than it is now. Now it's just insane. Like every other day, there's 5 or 6 news stories like that I'm like, oh, I need to cover that, and I'll probably never get around to because I'm just one guy, I would love to do this as a full-time job, definitely, but who knows, man. So the animals are part of an interactive installation by American artist Beeple, aka Mike Winkelmann, currently showing at Berlin's Neue National Gallery. Each printed image shows a snippet of reality transformed by AI to resemble the personality or dog, or in other words, the worldview of the human figure on its shoulders. In example, the Picasso dog will produce images in Cubist style and Warhol's in pop art. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So whatever head is on the mechanical dog, it'll print off like a picture in their style of art, like with Picasso's Cubism, Warhol's pop. I'm curious about the other ones, with like perhaps like Elon Musk. Maybe it would be like rocketry related, It's a commentary of how our perceptions are shaped by algorithms and technology platforms. The organizers of the exhibition write in the description of the event. I definitely agree with that. I listen to a lot of Sam Tripoli, and he says, Kim Jong-un, is that Kim? Yeah, Kim Jong-un is in one of these. I'll have to take or reverse the image so you guys can see it. Sam Tripoli is like my favorite conspiracy podcaster. He has said throughout the years that I can't remember the exact phrase he uses off the top of my head. I just woke up. But he's your algorithm is lying to you. That's what he always says. Your algorithm is lying to you. And it's true, dude. And a lot of people don't take this into consideration. Especially like within the conspiracy community. Our community can be either awesome or sometimes it can be very toxic. I'll hear a lot of content creators like, you know, they'll get mad at like blue pill people and they're like, well, how have you never heard about that? And sometimes they'll get mad at even other content creators within the conspiracy community of like, you've never heard of this? How have you never heard of this, dude? It's like, bro, everyone's algorithm is different. So like, everything that's coming through my algorithm is going to be completely different than yours. My wife's algorithm is like completely non-conspiracy, you know. Mine is completely loaded with conspiracy shit. So I'm always having to like inform her on what's going on of like, hey boo, they're doing this, you know, and she's like, are you kidding me? You know. But she'll never see it on hers. And then it'll come to pass and it's like if I hadn't told her this was coming, like she'd probably be like, what the fuck? How did I miss this? You know? So I think that people need to kind of understand that and figure that out, that like everyone's algorithm is different. You know, there's going to be shit that I don't catch on. You know, that's why I'm always telling people, hit me up in comment sections of like, if there's something I'm not talking about that you know about that I haven't heard about, hit me up, you know. I was talking to Mirror D80s the other day, and he was telling me about the digital ID with video games over in Australia, which we're going to expand on that tomorrow night. But it's like, it's not even popping up in my algorithm. I haven't heard of this shit, you know. It's up to us to inform each other on what's going on, you know. In the past, our view of the world was shaped in part by how artists saw the world. People told AP how Picasso painted changed how we saw the world. This dude, I think he's German, so it's his second language, because that right there didn't make sense. Unless it was just the journalist mistyping or something. How Picasso painted changed how we saw the world. Okay, no, he did say it correctly. I'm dumb. How Warhol talked about consumerism, pop culture that changed how he saw those things. Now our view of the world is shaped by tech billionaires who own powerful algorithms that decide what we see and what we don't see, the artist added. Yeah, here's another still image of the robot dogs. That was the one I'm talking about. Is that Kim Jong-un? Probably, because I mean, the other night, dude, this was like earlier this week, I was watching, for some reason, I watch it every now and then, I'll watch documentaries on North Korea, just because I'm very fascinated with it, where it's so cut off. Their propaganda is insane. Like, I've seen like propaganda films, you can find them on YouTube, how they literally tell people in their country like that our people over here are like struggling and starving, which they're kind of halfway not wrong. A lot of these documentaries are older, but looking at the modern state of America, like some of their documentaries aren't that wrong. Like, everything's sky high. People are struggling. There's no more people. Like, I remember, dude, 10 years ago, I had my own apartment. I had my own car. I was paying all the bills with zero assistance as far as food stamps, WIC, nothing like that. I was the only one working, was a single father, paying child support, and like still had money left over to buy video games or to like, you know, enjoy life. Now everything is so sky high. It's hard for people to find employment. I don't know anyone who has their own fucking house. I kid you not. Like, for the most part, like, I can't say I don't know anyone, but like 90% of people I know, they're living with, it's like multi-family households. Which is just mind-blowing. Like, it's fucking insane. I mean, and nobody can afford to fucking live, you know? So yeah, like when I see like North Korea propaganda films, it's like, they kind of are not wrong. Like, I know it's like 90s old propaganda films where they're saying we're eating pigeons and shit, but they were kind of prophetic in a way. Thank God I haven't had to eat a pigeon yet, but you never know, man. There's still time for that shit. So this is an immense amount of power that I don't think we've fully understood, especially because when they want to make a change, they don't need to lobby the UN. They don't need to get something through Congress or the EU. They just wake up and change these algorithms. That to me is mind-blowing, and I see it all the time. First of all, when I was in high school, I was an anarchist. And I really didn't get political until Trump's, I'd say this was way back in the day. This was like when Roseanne Barr was running for president. That's when I first started like getting political, was when Roseanne Barr ran for president. If you can remember that far back. I was a big supporter of hers. I was supposed to go out and vote for her, but I never ended up doing it. Because I was younger and a party animal. But I slowly see myself going back to anarchistic. Especially after the stolen election. Go see, what is it, 3,000 Mules or something like that. Joe Biden stole the election from Trump. I mean, it just is what it is, man. You'd have to look into it. It's fucking nuts. Like, they just blatantly stole that shit. But I always hear people say, with talking about Bill Gates, talking about the World Economic Forum, talking about these tech lords, of, we never elected these people. And I always have a little bit of a counter argument of like, what is this whole mindset of govern me harder, daddy? Like, why do we need to elect anyone to lead us? And this isn't like an ego thing. It really isn't, but I don't need these government officials. I don't need these government people telling me how to live. Like, I just don't. I don't know about you, but when I wake up, I'm the king of my own castle. I'm the god of my world. You know, you can be the god of your worlds, whatever. I just don't have that mentality of that I need to be governed. I need someone to govern me and tell me what to do. A lot of people don't have that mentality. A lot of people wake up and they gotta follow rules and they need to be told what to do, you know? And people can say, well, don't you have a job? So that means you have a boss. Like, no, I am selling my service and my time to them. If I don't like where I'm at, you know, I've quit 2 jobs within the past year. Because they were being abusive towards me. Verbally abusive, mentally abusive, gaslighting. And I was just like, yeah, I gotta go. Like, this is not good for my mental health. And they're always like, well, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, I'm gonna get another job. Like, you don't have another job lined up? Aren't you scared? Blah, blah, blah. Do you really want to do this? It's like, I got $10,000 in the bank, bro. Like, I'll be okay for a little bit. Like, it's gonna suck, but I'd rather be home and not gaslit and not mentally and not physically, but mentally abused by you. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about me. You know? So this whole, I get what they're saying of like, we haven't elected these people, but it still goes back to, why do you have to have someone to govern you? Like, govern yourself, you know? But I do get what you're saying, like with Bill Gates, for example, or Klaus Schwab or something. Like, I don't remember there being an election to give you power over my life, you know? Lisa Batti, the curator of the exhibition in Berlin, says the artificial intelligence was one of the phenomena most impacting our lives today, and that museums are the places where society can reflect on such transformations, which is why she wanted to have Beeples' work shown. Also, museums, they are supposed to collect pieces of our history, and the whole point of history is that we view it, read it, study it, so we don't repeat it, you know? The work, entitled Regular Animals, was shown at Art Basel Miami Beach in 2025. So down in Florida, where I was born and raised. That would have been cool to check out. I'll need to remember that. Regular Animals. Maybe I'll title this episode that. Beeple is a graphic designer from South Carolina who does a variety of digital artwork. He is one of the founders of the Everyday movement in 3D graphics. For years, he has been creating a picture every day and posting it online without missing a single day. So he's kind of like me, well, whenever I'm feeling good and not busy with work, like putting out an episode every day, dude. Or I tried to. Another image of Beeple with his little animals. Look at Mark Zuckerberg's butt. It's crazy. I love it though. According to Christie's, he is the third most expensive living artist to sell at auction after David Hockney and Jeff Koons. I don't know who those other two people. I've heard of Beeple, but not the other two people. In spring of 2021, Christie's opened bidding for Beeple's digital collage entitled "Every Day's the First 5,000 Days." With this, so I'm guessing that's the first 5,000 days of him posting an image every day of something he created. So that is pretty cool, man, that he like literally creates a piece of art every single day. With the sale ultimately closing at over 69 million. 69, dude. Sorry, Bill and Ted. The auction house described the artwork as critiques of modern society, the government, and social media in the form of grotesque dystopian futures, often featuring celebrities like Donald Trump and Kanye West. I love it. Honestly, dude, I don't know. There's going to be someone in comment sections who say like, oh, he's Illuminati, you know. But everything that I'm hearing, I kind of like this dude, you know. He's literally warning through his art about dystopian future, which is what I talk about on this channel all the time. I mean, every other episode I feel like I'm talking about AI or some robotics or something that is heading us towards a Blade Runner, Terminator dystopian, when we could have a utopian futurism, but all these futurists, they all want dystopia, you know. And I do think it's possible to have a utopian futurism mindset, but not with these people, man. Christie said the sale marked the first time a major auction house offered a digital-only artwork with non-fungible token as a guarantee of its authenticity, as well as the first time cryptocurrency has been used to pay for artwork in an auction. Non-fungible tokens, known as NFTs, are electronic identifiers confirming a digital collectible is real by recording the details of the digital ledger known as blockchain. The tokens have swept the online collecting world recently, an offshoot of the boom in cryptocurrencies. Wasn't that whole thing like basically a scam? Like, hit me up in the comments, but wasn't the whole NFT thing like a short little phase, and everyone figured out how ridiculous it was to like invest a shit ton of money on like basically like a screenshot of an image? Like, it was just mind-blowing. It reminds me of the banana taped to the wall, you know. I love art, but sometimes it gets even a little too fartsy for me, man. I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Look forward to that interview that should be happening tomorrow. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please hit me up in the comments below.